Hi, I'm Claire, and today's video is going to be book recommendations from a whole bunch of lovely people I met at WorldCon 76 back in August. I had my camera with me at the con pretty much all the time because I was vlogging, so I used that opportunity to ask a few people that I met throughout the weekend to give me some book recommendations for you, and I've put these together in a single video, which is today's video. So before I hand you over to the clips, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who was very, very gracious with their time at WorldCon and just sat down to talk to me about books. It was a blast. I will leave links for all of the books down below, as well as all of everybody's social media and websites and where you can find them online and all of that good stuff.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Lassen. I'm a bookseller at Borderlands Books. I've been lucky enough to be a bookseller at science fiction bookstores for almost 25 years now. So I have a lot of strong opinions about science fiction and fantasy, but some of the coolest stuff that I've read recently, Daryl Gregory's Spoonbenders is amazing. It is on the Hugo ballot this year, so that's kind of an easy recommendation. And the other thing that I'm reading right now that is just, I knew it was going to be amazing and I've been saving it. I've been waiting to get to it. It was the last two Octavia Butler books that I haven't read yet. I just read Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler, and I'm halfway through Parable of the Talents right now. And they are so amazing and so good, and they had to be incredibly powerful when they were first published back in the mid-90s.
Yeah. And
now in Donald Trump's America, they're just gut-wrenching, because they were 10 minutes in the future back in the 90s, and now they're 10 seconds in the future, and all the more powerful. They're just amazing books. Octavia Butler, Parable of the Sower, Parable of the Talents.
Hi, I'm Brie. I run a booktube channel and I'm on Twitter as Brie Reads Books.
And can you tell me a recent book, movie, podcast, something that you've really enjoyed recently and you'd recommend?
I really loved The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. It's a book about kind of an alternate version of the 40s where we have to flee to the moon basically for survival, and it's about the women who are fighting for their rights to basically help humanity survive.
I am so looking forward to reading that one.
It's super good. It talks a lot about anxiety and kind of having to fight for the rights of people around you, and it's fantastic in the way it represents that.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I run the YouTube channel SFF180 and the website as well, sff180.com.
Thomas, tell me, what's something that you've read or seen recently that you would recommend?
Okay, that's an easy one. You know, we're here at WorldCon while it's winding down. And of course, last night at the Hugo ceremony, Rebecca Roanhorse won the Campbell Award for Best New Writer. And just so happens that I've recently reviewed her first book, Trail of Lightning, which is a sort of post-apocalyptic speculative fiction meets, you know, some of the tropes of urban fantasy, but it all gets put together into something that feels fairly fresh and new. And it, incorporates, indigenous American culture and, legends, their mythology, into this fantastic adventure with a deeply flawed, even broken heroine who has to kind of find her strength. And it is just fantastic entertainment. And this comes from somebody who is not a particular fan of traditional urban fantasy. This is an example of a book that sort of, reworks a lot of the tropes and sort of brings in something new in the same way I think, for example, I'm not a fan of vampire fiction, but then Sylvia Moreno-Garcia, a couple of years ago, she wrote that book, Certain Dark Things, which completely changed my whole perception of what vampire fiction could be. It's this sort of gritty, near-future, a crime story, about like vampire cartels in Mexico City. I mean, that's just doing something completely fresh with it. And Trail of Lightning has a similar effect for me. In the kind of story that it tells. So it's very exciting, very entertaining. I think that her career is absolutely going to be one to watch.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Well, thank you.
Hi, my name is Remi Jambi. I am the publicist for Rebellion Publishing, and I am currently reading the New Testament poetry collection by Jericho Brown, which is brilliant, and I highly recommend it to everybody.
What's it about?
So Jericho Brown is an African-American author, and he's been around for a while, and he's a poet, and this particular collection, I guess, is about his identity. It's about dealing with like his place in life at the moment, based around the concept of like the Bible and Bible verses and Bible books. So every single poem, the title is a Bible book, and it's just really interesting to see him tie those things together. So I find it absolutely beautiful, so I highly recommend it.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is David D. Levine. I'm the author of Arabella of Mars and two sequels, the most recent Arabella and Arabella the Traitor of Mars, just out. What I'm reading right now is I just started reading The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. It's based on her previous story, The Lady Astronaut of Mars. I'm only about halfway through the first book, and I'm really digging it. I just picked up a copy of the second book, The Fated Sky, here at the WorldCon, and it's a historical science fiction story, which, as you can see, is right up my alley. And it's also about space travel. It's very technically accurate. I know that she's done a lot of research, talking with astronauts and visiting NASA and stuff like that. And I'm extremely jealous of her opportunities to do this. But so, as I said, I'm only about halfway into it, but I'm really enjoying it, and I know it's catching a lot of eyes.
Cool, thanks so much.
Hi, I am Denise Harwood. I am a sometimes booktuber at Denise Harwood, and I am on Twitter at mallow_girl.
Cool, do you want to tell people what you've been reading recently? Just recommend us some media books.
Okay. I will recommend probably my favorite book so far this year was Rail Sea by China Mieville. This is a retelling of Moby Dick, but instead of being ships on the ocean, they are on trains track over this vast expanse of very dangerous dirt, where there are land whales that go under the dirt and may come up and destroy things. It's very powerful and very interesting. It's as weird as China Mieville's other works, so if you're into his weirdness, I definitely would recommend moving on to there. And if you want to try a retelling of a classical work, I think his is a great one to look at.
Cool, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Derek Krinskin. I'm a writer of science fiction and fantasy, mostly in Asimov magazine. And my debut novel is coming out from Solaris in October. It's called The Quantum Magician.
Awesome. Can you tell me something that you've enjoyed reading or watching or consuming recently?
I've been reading comic books recently. I've been going back, well, first of all, I've been reading a lot of 2000 AD comics, in particular of a writer called Rory McConville. He started in 2015, and I've been looking at the work he's been doing in 2000 AD because they have a really distinctive voice at 2000 AD that I'm trying to understand better. At the same time, I just finished reading an Image comic by Jerry Duggan and David O'Sullivan called Analog. And Jerry Duggan used to work on Deadpool, and now he's doing this new series that is in a world where basically information can't be held safely anymore. And so a whole new system of transmitting information has to happen, and it's very gumshoe but a lot of fun.
Cool, thank you, that's awesome. If you'd like to see more from me, you can check out a previous video on screen right now. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button that's on my face for a new video from me every week. I've been Claire, thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.